Welcome to New Awakenings with Edgar Cayce's A.R.E, where together through some incredible conversations, we go on beautiful journeys of discovery that might shape the way you think about things and could even change your life.
Today we are thrilled to be able to feature not one, but two guests on the show. Today we're talking about an exciting event that's coming up with the A.R.E. Cassie McQuagge has been an A.R.E. staff member for 35 years. She started when she was 2, overseeing areas of production, from production and A.R.E. Press to the buildings and grounds, study groups, the prison program, library, almost every job in the world she's done. Recently, most recently, philanthropy and membership, and has even held the position of interim CEO twice. She obviously has a very deep connection to the mission and ideals of the A.R.E, so we're thrilled to have her.
We are, and with her we have Nancy Tiberi, who has joined the A.R.E in 2013. She has also worked in various positions in the A.R.E, including visitor services, customer service, and as the director of international travel. Nancy is a Reiki master and enjoys her multifaceted roles, integrating wellness, cultural enrichment, and personal growth here at the A.R.E. And we are thrilled to have them both with us. Welcome to the show, ladies.
Thank you. Glad
Happy to be here.
Jinx, show me a beer.
I know, right? It's like they rehearsed it. It's like they're harmonizing.
We work well together.
Yeah, we can see
Very
that.
obvious.
We're in side-by-side offices, so there you go.
Oh, that's excellent. So it's going to be a wonderful conversation. Before we get to the event, I really want to set the table because I believe Edgar Cayce had very strong feelings about entrenching yourself in other cultures. How does that, let's set the table on that. What did Edgar Cayce's feelings on that one?
Well, exactly that, entrenching yourself in other cultures. And that way you have an understanding of the world at large, and perhaps you can take something from that culture and incorporate it in your life that may support your spiritual journey along the way.
Right.
And was he a proponent of actually getting out there and traveling, or because I know he was a channeler, did he just kind of mentally travel?
Oh, absolutely, getting out there and travel, yeah. Yeah, Cassie can speak to that. So our first tour took off in...
And it was Hugh Lynn. Casey first went to Egypt in 1963. So that was the first international tour, and we've been traveling all around the world ever since. Many places, multiple times a year, sometimes 6 different places in a year.
Yes, please.
Wow,
Yes.
I know,
Yeah.
sign me up, holy cow.
Right.
Oh, I love traveling.
I mean, really, who doesn't?
I know, right?
But the type of travel that you do is not just, hey, look at the pretty rocks, right? This is it's much more in depth, right? So let's talk about that. These trips aren't about, they are about sightseeing, but there's a lot more depth to them. So what makes an Edgar Cayce A.R.E. trip different than just regular travel?
Well, we like to go to sites that incorporate the spiritual aspect, and traveling with like-minded individuals adds a component that heightens everybody's experience. And most of the time, the tours go off in a way that the group comes together and they make lifelong friends, actually. So visiting these ancient sites that have the spiritual background adds an incredible element. Plus, on top of that, our tours are, I would like to say, 4- and 5-star tours across the board. Yeah, so they're, yeah.
Yeah, they're not sleeping in youth hostels.
Not at all, no. We have beautiful hotels.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No, actually, I like that.
Yeah.
That's very true, and like Nancy said, because it's generally smaller groups, 30, 40 people. Egypt can be much larger than that, but generally it's 30 to 40. You're eating pretty much every meal together, so you are forming these friendships with all of the people, and you're traveling as a group. You're on the bus and you go to the next site, so you have these conversations too when you get back on the bus. Oh my gosh, what about, this particular thing we just saw at this site? So it really is engaging, and it goes well beyond just, spiritual growth. It is those friendships that you make.
The
Yeah,
connections.
because especially when you're traveling with a group of like-minded people, you all have kind of the same goals. You're interested in the same things.
Exactly.
And traveling, you're out of your culture, especially to some of the places that you've gone. So it's like this almost a shock to your body. And when you're in that situation with other people too, that helps form those bonds and really cement those relationships. Now, you've mentioned Egypt a couple of times, but what are some of the other places you have been to?
So we've been to Portugal, Spain, and France. Yeah, that was an amazing tour. We just returned from Greece and Turkey, which I understand they had an amazing time and followed in the footsteps of the Apostle Paul. So that was an incredible tour. And yeah, we've been to Peru. We've been to, I'm drawing a blank.
China, Tibet, Australia, the Galapagos. They've done an Alaskan cruise.
Yeah.
We're going to be doing a mound builders tour. I think that goes in September. All of that information would be on our website, but that's domestic. So not only do we travel internationally, but occasionally we will also do a domestic tour.
Yeah.
Wow.
Japan, did you mention Japan?
Japan,
yeah. We have a
These are like all bucket list spots for me.
Yeah,
I've been to some of them, but definitely not all of them.
Well, we have room on our tour.
Hey.
right?
Enough room in your luggage for us?
Possibly.
That's big luggage.
Yeah.
So, besides, do you have speakers? Like, how is like a typical tour? How does that go as far as involving Casey's work and the travels?
Go ahead.
Okay. So we have leaders from Cayce that go on the tour, and for instance, with Ireland. Okay. So we're going to be hitting some of these amazing ancient sites, and the energy will be incredible. And at that time, we're going to want to incorporate some meditations, and on most of all of our tours, we incorporate meditations, some readings about Cayce in relation to that particular site. We can do that. And then on top of that, we have tour guides on the ground that are familiar with their locals. They're familiar with the sites, and they lead us around and take us through some sites that maybe that aren't even on the itinerary. You know, they'll take us to places that they know of, that they love, that they want to share with us as a group. So
That's
that
the
happens
best.
frequently.
That's the
The
best part.
insider
Yeah.
secrets.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
And they
that
probably
happens
take
a
you
lot.
to the good food too, huh?
Exactly. Yeah, they take you to the local spots, which will be great in Ireland because you know it's all about that fun culture.
And we should say that Ireland is the next trip. That's
I'm
what we're
sorry.
talking
Yes,
about,
Ireland
right?
is
So-
the next trip.
Right.
Yes, it's coming up.
So why did you choose Ireland out of all the places in the world? Why Ireland?
Well, particularly because of the ancient sites that are there. There is a connection to the spiritual world at these sites where we can spend some time and soak it all up. And for instance, the cliffs of Moher, we're going to go there. And of course, that's a beautiful landscape that overlooks the Atlantic Ocean. And that would be a great opportunity to sit and maybe have some meditation, some quiet time, and just soak up that energy. And yeah, so that's one of the places we're going to go. And Ireland is also on top of all of the ancient sites and the wonderful spiritual energy, just the fun and the liveliness of the Irish culture. We're going to be soaking that up as well.
Oh, I love Ireland. And it has a lot of those like little tiny Stonehenges all over the place.
Right.
I totally
Yeah.
thought you were going to say those little tiny leprechauns.
Yeah. Well, there's that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's Guinness.
And there is
And there's
Guinness.
Guinness.
That right there is
Yeah.
a reason.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there will be some of that as well. Fun. In addition to visiting the sacred sites, I think we're going to a distillery and some different. We'll go to the Blarney Castle, see the Blarney Stone. Of course, you can't go to Ireland without that.
Of course,
Right.
yeah.
Time for shopping and
Yeah.
all of that. So it's a lot of different things.
Yeah.
At the
The
same
Rock
time.
of Cashel.
The Rock of Cashel,
Oh,
yeah,
which
the Ring
looks
of Kerry,
amazing,
yeah.
and we will be going up to Belfast as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's
Trinity
like my
College,
trip from
yeah.
after college. They just went to all the places I had with my little backpack in my youth hostels.
Good for you.
I love that.
I bet it
Like
was an
the-
incredible experience.
It
right?
was, and then the Blarney Stone. You know, you have to like lean backwards, and there's a little guy that like holds your back, and you're like leaning over this whole. It's like a between two buildings thing, and they do the alcohol wipe off the thing when you kiss it. But that's why I can talk so much. I got the gift of gab.
There you go.
Unfortunately, that means I might be out because my arthritis would not let me do that. every time.
Yeah.
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 So it feels like a super long trip. How long is the trip for?
It's the 4th through the 15th, August 4th
August 4th
through
through
the
the
That's
15th.
nice. That is nice, and I like that it's incredible Cayce, material and the spiritual, but then the fun and the sights and the food. It just sounds perfect.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's one of the things that Cayce encouraged is combining the spiritual aspects and the fun of being on planet Earth.
Right.
Yeah, so take it all in, and I think Ireland would be a great place for that.
Yeah,
to,
definitely.
experience that.
I'm sure it's getting pretty close to filling up, so we would encourage anyone who's interested to move fast and get your spots.
Register now.
Yeah, register now. That's the name of the title of the show. Register now. If someone wanted to do that, how can they do that? How can
They can go to our website, edgarcayce.org/tours, and Ireland is right there. They can just click on that. They can see the full itinerary of everywhere we're going, the days we're going to be in specific places, and a little description of each place that we're going, and then they can just click that register button and get signed up, because we were going to be selling out, so
Right.
get your space now.
Does it say register now?
I think
I'd be
it probably
disappointed if it
does.
doesn't.
Yeah, register now. Yes.
Right, exactly.
Wow, that's awesome. And then, so are there other trips upcoming other than Ireland, or is this the one that really we're focusing on right now?
Well, this is the tour that we're actually leading, but we do have the Mound Builders tour coming up, which I mentioned earlier, and then of course Egypt we'll be leaving, I think, at the end of October. That's our annual trip to Egypt.
So it's nice that you are leading the Ireland trip, which means
Yeah.
you get to go. Anytime you need extra hands or something, there are people that I know that might actually be interested in helping out.
Yes,
so
yes,
just putting it out
Anybody
there.
sitting here by
Yeah.
chance?
Maybe. Have you been on a lot of the trips?
I've been, let's see, I went to Portugal, Spain, and France. I've been to Egypt. You've been to
I've been to Egypt.
Yep. I went to Greece and Turkey. So yeah, I've been to a few.
So do you have a favorite?
Yeah, it's always the one I've just been to. Like Greece and Turkey was amazing, and that was the last one I went to. So it was.
I think this will be my favorite because I'm half Irish.
Yeah, so there you go.
I've been to Scotland, not with A.R.E, but I've been to Scotland, so half of me is Scottish and half is Irish.
I couldn't tell by your last name at all.
Yeah, my mother's maiden name was Kelly, so there you go.
Oh, wow. And then you've got the green. Yeah.
I do.
Kinda like us.
We're dressed for Ireland.
Yeah, we did do that on purpose.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, well, one more time. If someone wants to register, what's the best place to do that?
Go ahead, Kath.
EdgarCayce.org/tours. Click on that Ireland button. Register now.
Register now.
Yes.
Register now. There are limited spots, so
You don't want to miss out.
if you have any inclination, do it now. Register now.
No, I'm already excited.
Yeah.
And we're not even going, but I'm excited.
No, we might.
We might register now.
I heard.
We'd love for you to come. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard they have big luggage, so that's
true.
Right. Ladies, thank you so much for coming and
thank you very
sharing of the
much.
trip with us. We're excited to get you back and talk about the trip after that.
Yes,
to
and see some
share the
pictures.
stories.
Take
Wonderful.
lots
Yeah,
of pictures
love
and
to.
videos.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Always.
Yeah.
Hundreds.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Well, that does it for this episode of New Awakenings with Edgar Cayce's A.R.E. If you missed any part of this, or if you're interested in checking out any of our other interviews, all you need to do is go to edgarcayce.org/resources, and you'll see them all laid out there for you, so you can catch up easy peasy.
Very easy.
Once again, thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you on the next episode of New Awakenings with Edgar Cayce's A.R.E.
And don't forget, register now.
Register now.
Bye.